Be me, 39, Director of Logistics Operations. Work for Transnational Freight, massive trucking company. Based in Houston, Texas, operate nationwide. 5,000 trucks on the road, all 48 states. $3 billion annual revenue, 8,000 employees total. We move everything: Amazon packages, automotive parts, retail goods. Fleet runs 24/7, 365 days a year. Our business is simple. Buy fuel, move freight, make money. Fuel is our second biggest cost after payroll. Burn through about 2 million gallons of diesel weekly. Every penny diesel goes up costs us $20,000 per day. Every dime is $200,000 per day. Margins are tight. Fuel price matters massively. Been doing this for 11 years, work my way up. Know the industry, know the risks, know how to manage them. 6 weeks ago, everything was running smooth. Diesel around $3.20 per gallon, stable. Fleet at 98% operational capacity. Hitting our revenue targets, clients happy. Then corporate hired a new VP of supply chain. Woman named Sarah. She's 44, comes from tech startup world. VP at some Series B logistics software company. Good resume on paper, MBA, speaks at conferences. Big on diversity and inclusion initiatives. First day, she sends company-wide email. Excited to disrupt traditional logistics thinking. Time to challenge old paradigms and embrace innovation. I'm thinking, here we go. Our industry doesn't need disruption. Needs trucks, fuel, and drivers who show up on time. Late February, about 6 weeks back. I'm monitoring fuel markets like always. Price is stable, but geopolitical news is concerning. Middle East tensions escalating fast. U.S. and Israel making moves against Iran. Intelligence reports saying conflict likely. Our fuel procurement team, led by a guy named Marcus. He's 51, been managing fuel contracts for 20 years. Knows every refinery, every supplier, every market indicator. Marcus comes to me with urgent proposal. We need to hedge diesel prices immediately. War in Middle East is looking extremely likely. If Strait of Hormuz gets disrupted, oil spikes to $120 plus. Diesel follows, could hit $5 to $6 per gallon. Shows me the analysis. Current price, $3.20 per gallon. Hedging cost, $5 million to lock in prices for 6 months. If war happens and prices spike, saves us $50 to $80 million. If war doesn't happen, we're out $5 million. That's a bet I'd take every time. Risk management 101. I approve it. Send it up to Sarah for final sign-off. She's only been here 2 weeks, but supply chain is her domain. Fuel procurement falls under her authority. I email her the proposal with all Marcus's analysis. Subject: urgent, fuel hedging recommendation. She responds in 10 minutes. Let's discuss in person. This seems reactionary. Meeting that afternoon, me, Marcus, and Sarah. Marcus walks her through the situation. Tensions in Middle East at highest point in years. Iran's threatened to close Strait of Hormuz before. If they do, 20% of world's oil supply gets cut. Prices will skyrocket immediately. Sarah's listening, but her face says she's not convinced. Marcus, every intelligence assessment says war is likely. We're talking 70 to 80% probability within 2 weeks. Sarah, intelligence is wrong all the time. Look at Iraq WMD's Afghanistan predictions. Intelligence gets it wrong constantly. The national security establishment always overstates risks. Marcus, this is different. These are credible threats. Sarah cuts him off. This is exactly the kind of fear-based thinking I'm here to change. Oil companies love these scares, drives up prices. They want us to panic buy, lock into expensive contracts. We're not going to fall for it. I jump in. Sarah, $5 million is insurance. If war happens, we save tens of millions. If it doesn't, we eat a small loss. But if war happens and we're not hedged, Sarah, then we manage it like we manage everything else. We're a $3 billion company. We have resilience. Marcus tries again. Our entire business model depends on fuel. If prices double, our margins evaporate. We can't pass those costs to customers fast enough. Sarah, Marcus, I appreciate your caution, but I'm not authorizing $5 million based on war speculation. That's patriarchal risk assessment, always assuming worst case. We're going to operate with more confidence. Marcus looks at me, I look at him. We both know this is a mistake. But she's the VP, it's her call. Meeting ends, no hedging approved. Marcus and I debrief in the hallway. She has no idea what she's doing. This isn't a tech startup. We can't pivot if fuel doubles. I tell him, document everything. Every recommendation you make, put it in writing. When this goes south, we need a paper trail. Marcus sends a formal memo to Sarah. Strong recommendation to hedge fuel immediately. Risk of catastrophic cost increase if Middle East conflict erupts. Sarah responds via email. Recommendation noted and declined. We will not make fear-based decisions. That was February 24th, 4 days before the war started. February 28th, Friday morning. I'm in the office early, checking overnight reports. News alert on my phone. U.S. and Israel strike Iran. Turn on the news, it's everywhere. Massive air campaign, hundreds of strikes. Iranian supreme leader killed in his compound. Military bases destroyed, nuclear facilities hit. This is huge. This is the war everyone predicted. Oil markets haven't opened yet. Still 90 minutes until bell. But futures are going insane in pre-market. Brent crude jumping $15 in minutes. I call Marcus immediately. You seeing this? Marcus, yeah, we're fucked. Oil's going to $100 plus today, maybe $120. Me? Can we do anything now? Marcus, too late. Hedging window closed. We're exposed to whatever happens next. Market opens. Oil shoots from $75 to $95 in first hour. By end of day, Brent crude at $102. Diesel prices haven't caught up yet, but they will. This is how it works. Oil spikes, then diesel follows within days. Saturday, Iran retaliates. Hundreds of missiles launched at Israel. Drone attacks on U.S. bases in Gulf. UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, all getting hit. This is escalating fast, way faster than expected. Sunday, Iran makes the big move. Closes the Strait of Hormuz completely. No ships will pass until attacks stop. That's 20% of global oil supply. Market's going to go ballistic Monday. I'm at home watching the news, stomach in knots. We're about to get destroyed on fuel costs. And Sarah said no to hedging 4 days ago. Monday, March 3rd, markets open. Oil prices explode. Brent crude hits $110, then $115, then $120. Trading halted twice for volatility. Diesel prices at the pump jumping in real time. Friday, we were paying $3.20 per gallon average. Monday morning, $3.65. Monday afternoon, $3.95. Tuesday morning, $4.20. Our fuel costs are going insane. We budget based on $3.20 per gallon baseline. Every dollar increase costs us $2 million per week. We're already $2 million over budget, and it's day 3. Emergency operations meeting Tuesday afternoon. Me, Marcus, CFO, and Sarah. CFO is freaking out. We're hemorrhaging money. Fuel costs are 30% over budget already. Marcus, it's going to get worse. Strait is still closed. No relief in sight. Diesel could hit $5, maybe $6. Sarah, this is temporary volatility. Prices will stabilize once the initial panic passes. CFO, when? We can't sustain this. Sarah, war will be over quickly. U.S. has overwhelming force. Iran will capitulate. Strait will reopen. Prices will crash back down. I ask, what if you're wrong? Sarah, I'm not. This is basic geopolitics. Marcus, you were wrong about the war starting. Sarah glares at him. Excuse me? Marcus, you said war wouldn't happen. Said intelligence was fear-mongering. War happened exactly when they said it would. Sarah, past decisions aren't relevant. We need to focus on managing current situation. Me, How do we manage if diesel hits $5? Sarah, we tighten operations, optimize routes, reduce empty miles, improve load factors. This is manageable. CFO, those are 2 to 3% efficiency gains. We're facing 50% plus cost increases. Sarah, then we'll pass costs to customers. Me, our contracts have rate caps. Can't just raise prices mid-contract. Sarah, force majeure clause. This is a war. Me, customers will fight that. Takes months to litigate. We need cash flow now. Meeting ends with no real plan. Just wait and see if prices stabilize. Week 1 of war, diesel keeps climbing. Wednesday, $4.50 per gallon. Thursday, $4.75 per gallon. Friday, $4.95 per gallon. We're burning through budget like crazy. For $1 million over on fuel costs in 1 week. Start making painful decisions. Ground 500 trucks, non-essential routes only. Lay off 400 drivers, can't afford to run them. Clients getting angry, deliveries delayed. Amazon calls, where are our trucks? Contract says 48-hour delivery. You're at 72 plus. I explained the fuel situation. Amazon, not our problem. Meet contractual obligations. We're trying, but it's impossible. Running trucks at $5 per gallon when we budgeted for $3.20. Every route loses money. Week 2, diesel hits $5.20 per gallon. Iran's still holding the strait closed. No tankers getting through, global shortage starting. Not just price problem anymore, supply problem. Our fuel suppliers can't guarantee volume. Refineries running low on crude. Might have to ration deliveries. This is nightmare scenario. Ground another 1,000 trucks. Now 30% of fleet is parked. Lay off another 800 drivers. 1,200 people unemployed because of fuel. CFO calls emergency board meeting. Company is in crisis, losing $3 million per week. Cash reserves depleting rapidly. Board demands answers from Sarah. Why weren't we hedged against this? Sarah, hindsight is 2020. Nobody could have predicted strait closure. Board member, your fuel team predicted exactly this. I'm looking at the memo from February 24th. Reads it aloud. Strong recommendation to hedge fuel immediately. Risk of catastrophic cost increase if Middle East conflict erupts. Another board member, you declined this recommendation. Sarah, based on available information at the time, it seemed like unnecessary expenditure. Board member, it was $5 million. You've now cost us $15 million in 2 weeks. And we're facing potential bankruptcy if this continues. Sarah, I'm implementing cost reduction measures. Board, too late, damage is done. Week 3, diesel hits $5.60 per gallon. But now there's a worse problem. Fuel shortages at pumps. Our main supplier can only deliver 60% of usual volume. Gulf refineries aren't shipping. Strait is still closed, inventory depleting. We're not just paying double for fuel. We can't even get enough fuel. Have to ration what we have to critical routes only. Ground another 1,500 trucks. Now 60% of fleet is parked. This is catastrophic. Major clients canceling contracts. Amazon, moving freight to other carriers. Can't rely on inconsistent service. That's $180 million annual revenue gone. Walmart cancels 2 contracts, $120 million. Target pulls one, $95 million. We're losing $400 million in annual business because we can't get fuel. Stock price collapsing, down 38% in 3 weeks. Credit rating agencies downgrade us. Increased risk of default due to operational crisis. Sarah's still saying this is temporary. Ceasefire talks happening. Strait will reopen soon. But it's not reopening. War is still going. Iran's not backing down. Week 4, diesel hits $6.10 per gallon. Nearly double what it was a month ago. Our suppliers are rationing heavily. Can only provide 40% of normal volume. All customers being cut equally. We're running 2,000 trucks out of 5,000. 40% operational capacity. Company's basically non-functional. Drivers we haven't laid off are sitting idle, getting paid, but not working, burning cash. CFO, we have 8 weeks of cash runway left. After that, bankruptcy. Board calls emergency meeting. Sarah's on the hot seat. Chairman, this is the worst crisis in company history. We're facing existential threat, and it's because you didn't hedge fuel. Sarah, that's an oversimplification. Multiple factors contributed to this situation. Board member, you were warned. You ignored it. Your team said hedge. You said no. Your team said war was likely. You said fear-mongering. Everything they predicted happened. Everything you predicted was wrong. Sarah, the situation was uncertain. Reasonable people could disagree on probability. Board member pulls out printed emails. February 24th, Marcus wrote, war 70 to 80% likely within 2 weeks. You responded, we will not make fear-based decisions. February 28th, war started exactly on schedule. Another board member, you called it patriarchal risk assessment. Sarah, I was trying to bring a different perspective. Chairman, your perspective cost us $80 million. Cost 2,400 employees their jobs. Cost us $400 million in lost contracts. And might cost us the entire company. Sarah, I think that's unfair. Chairman, what's unfair is you still have a job. Effective immediately, you're terminated for cause. Sarah, you can't do that. I have a contract. Chairman, gross negligence voids your contract. Legal will be in touch. Clean out your office. Sarah's gone by end of day. Board brings in interim VP, guy with 30 years experience. His first assessment, this is bad, really bad. But war might end soon. Ceasefire talks advancing. Week 5, talks continue but Strait stays closed. Diesel stabilizes at $5.80 per gallon. Still can't get enough volume though. Week 6, ceasefire announced. Iran agrees to reopen Strait within 2 weeks. Market reacts. Oil drops from $120 to $105. Diesel starts falling, down to $5.40 per gallon. But damage is done. Companies destroyed. Lost $82 million in 6 weeks. Laid off 2,400 employees. Lost $400 million in annual contracts. Stock down 42% from pre-war levels. Credit rating downgraded to junk. Major clients have moved on, not coming back. We're operating 2,500 trucks now, half capacity. Trying to rebuild, but it's slow. Meanwhile, Sarah's already landed on her feet. See her on LinkedIn. Excited to announce new venture. Supply Chain Resilience Consulting. Helping companies navigate disruption. Are you fucking kidding me? She destroyed a company. 2,400 families without income. And she's consulting on resilience. 2 weeks later, she's speaking at a conference. Lessons from Crisis Management in Logistics. Gets paid $50,000 for the speech. I watch it online, can't help myself. She talks about adapting to uncertainty, building flexible operations, learning from challenges. Zero mention that she caused the crisis. Zero mention she ignored warnings. Zero acknowledgement she was wrong about everything. Just generic consulting speak about turning crisis into opportunity. Someone asks, how do you prevent these situations? Sarah, diversify fuel sources, build strategic reserves. Create hedging strategies for commodity exposure. Literally the shit Marcus told her to do. That she called fear-based patriarchal thinking. Now she's selling it as her expertise. Getting rich off failures she created. Today, about 6 weeks after war started. Ceasefire is holding, Strait reopening gradually. Diesel's down to $4.80 per gallon. Still 50% above pre-war. But slowly falling as supply recovers. Companies in survival mode. Operating 2,800 trucks, trying to hire back some drivers. Many have moved on, found other jobs. Can't blame them. We gave 2 weeks notice and cut them loose. Rebuilding client relationships. Most aren't interested. Trust is gone. Amazon's not coming back. Walmart's not coming back. We're fighting for scraps with regional carriers. Company that was $3 billion revenue, now projecting $1.8 billion this year. 40% decline. Stocks recovered to only 28% down. Still massive loss for shareholders. Lawsuits filed by investors. Management failed fiduciary duty. Ignored expert recommendations. Caused preventable crisis. Sarah's named in the suits. Her lawyers, she made reasonable. Business judgment. Reasonable. She was told war was coming. She was told fuel would spike. She was told to hedge. She said no to all of it because she knew better. Because warnings were patriarchal. Because oil companies were fear-mongering. And now 2,400 people are still unemployed. Company might not survive the year. Meanwhile, she's doing speaking tours. $50,000 per appearance. Teaching crisis management. To people who don't know, she caused the crisis. Her consulting website is slick. Drawing on experience, navigating supply chain disruption. Expertise in fuel risk management. Thought leader in logistics resilience. I showed it to Marcus. He just laughed, bitter laugh. She's selling our disaster as her success story. That's what gets me most. Not that she was wrong. Everyone's wrong sometimes. It's that she won't admit it, won't acknowledge the damage, won't apologize to the drivers who lost jobs, to the families struggling now. Just repackaged failure as expertise and moved on while we're still here, picking up pieces, trying to save a company she nearly destroyed. I think about the meeting in February when Marcus laid it all out. War probability, price projections, hedging costs. Everything that happened, he predicted. Sarah dismissed it all, called it fear-based thinking, said we needed confidence, not caution. She was confident. Confident she was smarter than intelligence agencies. Confident war wouldn't happen. Confident prices would stay stable. Confident in everything. Except she was wrong about everything. And confidence without competence is just arrogance. $5 million. That's what it would have cost to hedge. We lost $82 million instead. Plus $400 million in future revenue. Plus 2,400 jobs. Plus company reputation. Plus shareholder value. All to avoid spending $5 million. Because Sarah knew better than the experts, than the intelligence, than the market signals. She knew better. Feminist supply chain VP dismissed war warnings. Gas hit $6. We ran out of fuel in 2 weeks. Lost everything. And she's on speaking tours, teaching other people how to manage crises. She created. That's the lesson. Not about feminism. Not about diversity. About arrogance. About ignoring experts because you think you're smarter. About dismissing warnings because they don't fit your worldview. Marcus knew. He fucking knew. Told her exactly what would happen. And she said no. Because admitting he was right would mean admitting she didn't know everything. Now we know. She didn't know anything. But we learned too late. After the damage was done. After the jobs were lost. After the company was gutted. Too late. And she's fine. Making $50,000 per speech. While drivers are losing their homes. While families are struggling. While we're fighting to survive. She's fine. Because people like that always land on their feet. Always find a way to monetize their failures and call it success.